Hey everyone, Matt Pisarcik from RazorEmporium.com coming at you today for another shave review video. We are looking at the Henson aggressive razor and the new Nordic aftershave and soap from Razor Emporium. Let's get started. All right, we're gonna get started from right here because I'm excited to also showcase our newest Razor Emporium soap called Nordic. We'll do a whole spotlight video on this, but I actually just grabbed it from home, so it's already been used twice, so that's why you're seeing what looks like a used soap, because it is. I brought this from home, people. Really excited about Nordic. Same Razor Emporium vegan base. So it's going to have the same ease of lather that you're used to with Razor Emporium soaps. It's just going to spring to life. Just a couple swirls on the top. It's going everywhere, guys. Actually, maybe a little too much. There we go. Too much water I had. There we go. But the scent notes on this are cedarwood, eucalyptus, meadowgrass. There's one more I'm missing. Doing this off the top of my head. Well, that'll be why you have to watch the product spotlight video. But I was just up at the Idaho meetup, and I still had people, like, we're 4 or 5 years into doing this now, guys, of making soap in-house. And I still had people ask me, oh, who makes your soap? Who makes your soap? We do. We make it in-house. People are like, oh, really? Yeah, we have a huge warehouse. We have a huge workshop. We can make soap. Compared to revamping razors and all the metal finishing and plating equipment, soap is a cakewalk. And I don't say that to undermine soap makers. I just say it in relation to the other things we do. It's not complicated. You see how easy it is to lather. Get a nice hydrated, creamy lather. Sometimes I was like surprised. I've been watching other people's shaving videos. I won't say names, but I'm amazed by how many people have these real thin lathers they just kind of paint on. And I'm always like, I'm going for this whipped cream, thick, Cool Whip kind of consistency. And it's definitely not a paint on, it's a build on. Build on, meaning I have to work at kind of growing it and building it with mixing water and soap and really agitating it and scrubbing. And some of these guys just, they kind of just make it and they kind of smear it on and start shaving. I'm always like, wow, that doesn't look like it would really do what soap is supposed to do. Let's move on to the razor. Henson is no stranger to the razor scene. You guys have seen Henson shaving. If you haven't, you've been under a rock for the last year or two. And these guys are made in Canada, designed in Canada. It's all about Canada. And they make these razors out of aluminum. And they have, actually, it's really cool. Look at the directions right on here for assembly directions. And they got kind of a shaving routine. That's kind of clever having all this right here. But their big claim to fame is that they are kind of trying to change up the paradigm of the shaving world with a little easier way of shaving, with the way that this head kind of makes the angle for you. And their big thing is reducing blade chatter. And they claim that a lot of the other kind of inexpensive safety razors, the blade moves a lot, and so even though it's a double edge, you can end up getting irritation issues. Now this is their aggressive model, and I'm excited to try this today because that's one of the big complaints that some people have with the Hensons is they're too mild. So if you take a look right here on this cap, I'll hold it real still so you can see it. There's 3 little plus marks And that is signifying that this is the aggressive model. So they have the mild, the medium, and the aggressive, and it has to do with how many plus marks there are. This comes with a pack of RK blades. RK is decent. I've used them. We actually sell quite a lot of them, but I'm gonna give it the benefit of the doubt and use a blade that I really like, just so I'm auditioning the razor, not the blade. I use Perma-Sharp at home, so I'm gonna use Perma-Sharp here in the studio, just so that, again, it's a blade I'm accustomed to. I like to load all 3-piece razors the way that Gillette showed us 120 years ago how to do it. Cap in your hand, blade down on top of the cap, guard on top of that, handle to bring it all together. And so these are anodized. The aggressive is only available in this kind of this dark grayish blue color, I would call it. So let's give it a shot. It's definitely close. You know, it's been a while since I've used the Henson regulars. But this is definitely more in the vein that I would like. I wouldn't even call it aggressive. This to me feels like a Gillette red tip. We'll put the stats up here. Right here. For you on the blade gap and the exposure and all that kind of stuff. But I always tell people those numbers are so subjective because the blade angle, material, I mean, there's so many different factors of how a razor is going to shave. And then the last variable is your beard, your skin that day. But this is nice. This is a clean, close, comfortable shave. What I always go for. It's not aggressive at all. In fact, I would just call it efficient. This reminds me of maybe our Rex Envoy or Red Tip. No blade chatter. Really nice. Honestly, I'm scheming in my head if I need a travel razor or a lightweight razor, maybe for back bedroom or whatever. This is a nice razor to consider. I like it a lot. Yeah, that's definitely the biggest complaint with Henson is that for a lot of our seasoned wet shavers out there, they just kind of, oh, well, it's too mild. So this is a good option. I love the sound of it. And honestly, the weight is not that big of a deal. Yeah, it's aluminum and it's lighter than a stainless steel razor, but it's not like plastic razor or Bakelite where it's like super lightweight. I know they just came out with a titanium model as well that we carry. Should be a little more heavy than aluminum, but not quite as much as stainless steel or brass. The Nordic's doing great. Love the slickness on our soap. I'm sorry, I'm going to brag. I think that I think we have a pretty good base, guys. Really slick. In fact, anyone who's tried it, maybe they're like, oh, Razor Emporium, they don't know what they're doing. And they try to like, wow, they really do. They say it just like that, too. Yeah, but I have like probably 3 days of beard growth, and so this is making quick work out of it. It's funny, I had an event last night, and I really wanted to shave for the event, so I looked clean and presentable. But I said, no, I cannot. I have a video to shoot in the morning. It's work, guys, it's work. So with their head design, it actually is super easy to find an angle. The head kind of naturally, intuitively, between the guard and the head angle kind of form it for you. So you just kind of push both so it's flat on the skin. You know, they are, so what their big claim to fame is they're a manufacturer. Like, so I think they basically, their family owns the machine shop, and it was, you know, contracted shop for aerospace parts and widgets and, you know, whatever. And then they got into the shaving thing, and so now they can bring that economy of owning the means of production, and they don't have to contract out. And so they can have a pretty low priced item and still have enough margins to sell it to someone like Razor Emporium to retail. So I'm going through, I'm actually trying to go through some of this hair, my goatee. I just wanted to bring my goatee up slightly. I will say this, it gets clogged much easier than, let's say, one of my Rex razors do. With the Rex stuff, I can fly through hair no problem. Heck, I can almost take a beard down without even rinsing. But this did get clogged up a little bit easier. I think it has to do with how tight of kind of a lather slot that this really has. But that's not a big knock. It's just something to consider. But overall, that was a real easy, comfortable shave. I would say the blade feel was more on maybe just very slightly positive or kind of quasi-neutral. You kind of would feel the blade, but it wasn't uncomfortable. But yeah, definitely in the vein of an efficient razor. And if you have a heavier beard, or you don't want to do a bunch of passes, or you tried one of their mild razors before and it just wasn't enough for you, I think this is a fantastic option. Happy to have it, and now I'm happy I can talk about it with authority and with experience, right? Let's wrap it up with a splash of Nordic Splash. You know, it's funny, again, not trying to brag, I really wasn't a big splash person until our splashes. We put this rosewater, alum, I think that's the key, alum and glycerin, and so it ends up being kind of a moisturizing splash. And I've heard other people, it's not just me, I've heard many other people say it's a nicer splash and doesn't leave you feel dry, and it really does great on the skin. And then again, I was saying this to somebody else a while back. We switched. We didn't have an alcohol license for a while, and so we had to use other kinds of alcohol. I think we were using isopropyl for a while, but that just really, it's good, but the smell of isopropyl ends up kind of interfering with the fragrance. So now for the last year or so, it's all been, I think it's 180 or 190 proof straight alcohol. And we had to get like an alcohol permit just to even carry, get a big 50-gallon drum of this stuff. But definitely makes a real big benefit to the actual end product. So very happy with Nordic, happy with the Henson. Had a great shave, looking good, feeling good. No nicks or weepers. Yeah, smooth, clean, close, comfortable shave. That's all I got. Pick up the AL13 aluminum Henson aggressive razor if you want something cool, something different. Give it a shot. It's in a cool color too. If you've used a Henson, if you hate aluminum razors, if you like Norwegian smelling, masculine, cedar, outdoorsy smelling, woodsy smelling soaps, tell me below in the comments. And if you do leave a comment, you are entered in to win this, the official Razor Emporium black and blue t-shirt. That's all I got. Please like this video if you liked it. Subscribe to our channel. Share this with a friend who needs to see it. And we will see you next time at Razor Emporium for all things vintage shaving. See you next time, guys.